My dear friends, I stand before you today with a heart full of hope and a message that I believe will change your life forever. You see, we all face decisions in life, small ones, big ones, some that seem insignificant, and others that will shape our future. But there is one decision, just one, that stands above all others. It is the decision that defines who you are, where you're going, and how you'll spend eternity. The greatest decision you'll ever make isn't about what job to take, what car to drive, or even where to live. No, my friends, the greatest decision you'll ever make is the decision to choose the path that leads to peace, purpose, and joy. It's the decision to open your heart and surrender your life to something greater than yourself. In this moment, I ask you to listen closely. With every fiber of your being, hear this, the greatest decision you'll ever make is to trust in the one who loves you unconditionally, the one who created you for a purpose greater than you could ever imagine. And that decision, my friends, will transform your life in ways beyond your comprehension. So let's take this journey together, and may your hearts be open to the greatest decision you'll ever make. Amen. The power of choice is one of the most remarkable aspects of the human experience. From the moment we wake up in the morning to the moment we go to sleep at night, we are faced with a multitude of choices. Some are small, like what to have for breakfast or what to wear, and some are larger, such as the career path we choose to follow or the relationships we build. However, in the grand scheme of things, every choice has the potential to shape our lives in profound ways. It is easy to underestimate the impact of the decisions we make, but when we take a step back and examine the course of our lives, we can often trace significant events back to one or two key moments when we decided to go one way instead of another. One of the most powerful aspects of choice is the freedom it gives us. Unlike animals whose behaviors are largely governed by instincts, humans have the ability to make decisions based on reason, emotions, and desires. This ability to choose is a reflection of our free will, which allows us to navigate life in a way that feels personal and authentic. It means that we are not merely passive recipients of life's events, but active participants in shaping our own journeys. With each decision, we exercise this gift of free will and chart the course of our lives, for better or for worse. But while freedom of choice is a powerful gift, it also comes with great responsibility. Every choice we make carries consequences. Some are immediate and obvious, while others may not reveal themselves for years or even decades. It's important to understand that our choices, no matter how small they may seem, have a ripple effect that extends far beyond us. Our decisions affect not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. For example, the decision to treat someone with kindness can have a profound impact on that person's day, while a decision to act with cruelty can leave lasting scars. These ripple effects extend across our families, our communities, and sometimes even across the world. The concept of choice is also deeply tied to our values and beliefs. The decisions we make reflect who we are and what we prioritize in life. If we value honesty, we will choose to speak the truth even when it is difficult. If we value hard work, we will make choices that lead to personal growth and achievement. If we value compassion, we will choose to extend kindness and understanding to others. Our choices are a reflection of the core principles that drive us, and these principles are formed over time through our experiences, upbringing, and personal convictions. There are also times when the choices before us are not easy. In fact, some of the most important decisions we face come at moments of great uncertainty, when the future is unclear and the path ahead is fraught with challenges. In these moments, the ability to make decisions becomes even more crucial. It is often said that when we are faced with difficult decisions, our true character is revealed. The pressure of these moments can either break us or make us stronger, depending on the choices we make. In these moments of uncertainty, it's essential to stay true to our values and trust in our inner strength. As we navigate life, we will also face situations where we don't have all the information we need to make the perfect choice. Life is full of unknowns, and sometimes we must make decisions based on incomplete knowledge or even pure instinct. This is where faith and intuition often come into play. At times, the best choice may not be the most logical or practical, but the one that feels right in our hearts. It's important to trust ourselves, to listen to that inner voice, and to have faith that we will be guided toward the right path. In the context of making the greatest decisions of our lives, it's important to remember that the choices we make are not just about what we can gain or avoid in the short term. The decisions that define our lives are often those that challenge us to think beyond our own desires and consider the bigger picture. For example, the decision to be selfless and help others, even when it requires personal sacrifice, may not bring immediate rewards, but it will contribute to a life well lived, one full of meaning and purpose. Furthermore, as we look back on our lives, we often realize that some of our most important choices were not made in moments of comfort or ease, but during times of struggle or hardship. In these moments, the decision to persevere, to keep moving forward, or to remain faithful can often make all the difference. Struggles and challenges may seem insurmountable at the time, but they are often the very experiences that shape us into stronger, more resilient individuals. The decisions we make in these difficult moments can lead to breakthroughs in our personal growth and understanding. Sometimes the power of choice also lies in the ability to change course. We are not bound by the decisions of our past. While some choices may have long-lasting consequences, we always have the power to choose a new path, to begin again, and to make a fresh start. This is the beauty of life. Every day presents a new opportunity to choose, to grow, and to redefine who we are. No matter how many mistakes we may have made or how many times we may have failed, the choice to start anew is always within our grasp. The power of choice also invites us to reflect on what truly matters in life. In our fast-paced world, it can be easy to get caught up in the pursuit of success, wealth, or recognition. But when we take a step back and think about the choices we are making, we are reminded that these external achievements are fleeting. What endures, what truly matters, are the choices we make to nurture our relationships, to love unconditionally, to act with integrity, and to live with purpose. These are the choices that give our lives meaning and significance. It's important to recognize that while we have the power to make choices, we are also influenced by the choices of others. The decisions made by those around us, our family, our friends, our leaders, can affect us in ways that we may not always anticipate. This is why it is essential to surround ourselves with people who inspire us to make the best decisions possible. The community we choose to be a part of has a significant impact on the choices we make and the direction our lives will take. And yet, even with all the power we have in making choices, we must also acknowledge the reality that there are some things beyond our control. We cannot always dictate the circumstances of our lives, nor can we always control the outcomes of the decisions we make. But what we can control is our response to those circumstances. We can choose how we react to adversity, how we face challenges, and how we continue moving forward in the face of uncertainty. In the end, the choices we make are what ultimately define us. They shape our character, our future, and our legacy. The power of choice is a responsibility, and it is a gift that we must embrace with wisdom, courage, and conviction. Every day we are faced with countless decisions, and each one has the potential to move us closer to our highest purpose or further from it. The decisions we make today have the power to create a ripple effect that will be felt for generations to come. And so, it is imperative that we make our choices wisely, that we take the time to reflect on the values that guide us, and that we approach life with the intention of making choices that will lead us to a life of fulfillment, joy, and meaning. The power of choice is a force that cannot be underestimated. It is the power to shape our lives, to change our destinies, and to leave a lasting impact on the world around us. With every decision we make, we have the opportunity to create the life we desire and to become the person we are meant to be. The greatest decision we will ever make is the decision to embrace this power fully, to recognize the weight of our choices, and to use it to create a life that is rich with purpose and significance. The greatest decision we ever make is one that has far-reaching consequences, stretching beyond the boundaries of this life into the realms of eternity. It is easy to think of decisions in terms of the immediate effects they will have, as we often base our choices on the circumstances before us and the benefits or costs that we can see in the here and now. However, when we think about the greatest decision we will make, we must think not just about the present moment, but about how that decision reverberates across the span of our lives and beyond into eternity. In truth, many of the decisions that have the most profound impact are the ones that we make with eternity in mind. Eternity is a concept that is hard for the human mind to fully grasp. Time is something we experience in terms of days, weeks, years, things that begin and end, that can be measured and understood. But eternity is timeless, infinite, without beginning or end. It stretches far beyond anything we can imagine, and our decisions today have a ripple effect that touches that infinite reality. There are few things in life as weighty and consequential as this idea that the choices we make, especially the greatest ones, can determine our eternal fate. In life, we often focus on the things that seem urgent or pressing in the moment, the career we're building, the relationships we're cultivating, the dreams we hope to achieve. While these are important, they are not the most important. The things we value in our daily lives, while they have their place, are temporary. They are fleeting. And while they may bring us satisfaction, joy, and purpose for a time, they cannot compare to the weight of the eternal choices we face. The greatest decision you will ever make is not one that pertains only to the material or the temporal world. It is one that transcends the passing years and enters into the realm of eternity. The greatest decision we make, the one that shapes our eternal destiny, is the decision about how we respond to the call of God. The call to faith, the invitation to live in relationship with the Creator, is the most profound decision that any human being can make. It is a choice that echoes through eternity, influencing not only our present reality, but our future in ways that nothing else can. For many, the idea of responding to the call of faith is one that may seem abstract, distant, or even unnecessary. It can be easy to live life without considering the implications of the choices we make in relation to God, especially when we're consumed with the immediate concerns of life. But the reality is that this decision has eternal consequences. To choose to accept or reject God's offer of grace is to make a decision that will affect everything about our lives. It is the decision that determines the direction we take, the peace we find, and ultimately the eternity we experience. Those who choose to accept God's grace and embrace His love are choosing to step into a relationship that transcends the limitations of this world. It is a relationship that offers peace, hope, and a future that is grounded in something far greater than the temporary things we often focus on. The Bible tells us that eternity with God is a place of unimaginable beauty and joy, where there is no more suffering, no more pain, no more sorrow. But the choice to enter into that relationship must be made here in this lifetime. The decision to follow God is not simply a choice about where we spend eternity, but it is also a decision that affects the way we live our lives here on earth. When we make the decision to trust in God and to accept His guidance, we are choosing to align our lives with His purposes. We are choosing to live according to a set of values that are rooted in love, compassion, mercy, and justice. We are choosing to live with a sense of mission and purpose that goes beyond our own desires and ambitions. When we make this decision, we are choosing to become part of a larger story, a story that is unfolding across generations and spans the entire world. In contrast, the decision to reject God's offer of grace is one that carries with it its own set of consequences. The Bible speaks of the separation from God that comes with choosing a life apart from Him, a life lived in rebellion or indifference to His love and guidance. While God's love is extended freely to all, it is not something that can be forced upon anyone. The decision to reject God is a decision to live without His peace, without His presence, and without the hope of eternal life. It is a choice that leads to emptiness, to a life that ultimately lacks the fulfillment and purpose that God intends for us. It is essential to understand that the greatest decision we will ever make is not merely about our own individual lives, but also about the lives of those around us. The choices we make, particularly the decision to follow God or not, have an impact on the people in our lives. Our choices can either draw others closer to God or lead them further away from Him. Our actions and words are powerful tools for influencing those around us, whether we realize it or not. The way we live our lives is a testimony to others of what we believe, and it can serve as an invitation to others to make the same life-changing decision that we have made. This decision to respond to the call of faith is one that cannot be delayed or put off indefinitely. While it may be tempting to think that we have all the time in the world, the reality is that none of us knows what the future holds. Life is uncertain. The opportunities we have to make this choice may not always be available. The Bible warns us that today is the day of salvation, that now is the time to choose. We are not guaranteed tomorrow, and the choice we make today is the one that will determine our future, both in this life and in the next. The beauty of the decision to accept God's grace is that it is available to everyone, regardless of their past mistakes, their current struggles, or their circumstances. The offer of forgiveness, the offer of a fresh start, is extended to all who are willing to accept it. It is not a decision that requires us to be perfect or to have it all together. It is simply a decision to recognize our need for God and to trust in His provision. No one is beyond the reach of His love, and no one is disqualified from receiving His grace. The invitation to step into a relationship with God is open to all, and it is the greatest decision anyone can make. The decision to embrace this relationship with God is also one that brings a sense of deep fulfillment and peace. In a world that is filled with uncertainty, conflict, and chaos, the decision to place our trust in God brings a stability and calm that cannot be found anywhere else. When we choose to follow God, we are not just choosing a future in eternity, but we are also choosing to live with a sense of purpose and direction right here, right now. God's presence in our lives gives us strength, wisdom, and courage to face whatever challenges come our way. It helps us to see beyond the difficulties of the present moment and to focus on the bigger picture, the eternal perspective that is grounded in His love and truth. In the end, the decision we make regarding our relationship with God is the one that will shape everything else about our lives. It is the decision that determines how we live, how we love, and how we view the world. It is the decision that influences the way we handle adversity, how we approach relationships, and how we respond to life's challenges. It is the decision that defines not only our future, but also the way we experience the present. The greatest decision you will ever make is not one that simply changes your life for a season, it changes your life forever. It is the decision that affects everything, both now and for eternity. The greatest decisions we make often come at critical moments in our lives where we are faced with the possibility of change, transformation, or challenge. These moments can be overwhelming, and the pressure to make the right choice can sometimes feel unbearable. However, one of the most powerful things we can do in these situations is to embrace the opportunity to act, to choose, and to rise to the occasion. The reality is that life itself is full of moments where we are called to make a decision that could potentially change everything. How we respond to those calls will shape the course of our lives in ways we may not fully comprehend at the time. When we speak of embracing the opportunity to make a life-changing decision, it's important to understand that life rarely presents us with perfectly clear path. More often than not, the decisions that hold the most weight come when the future is uncertain, when we're unsure of which way to go. There's a temptation to avoid making decisions in these moments, to delay or defer our choices because of the fear of making the wrong one. But the truth is, doing nothing is in itself a decision. By not making a choice, we are in effect choosing a course of inaction. We are choosing to remain in the status quo, to avoid change, to let fear govern our hearts. Embracing the opportunity to make a decision means acknowledging that, despite our fears and uncertainties, we are empowered to act. The choice is ours, and even in the face of the unknown, we have the power to decide. It means understanding that every choice we make holds the potential for growth, even when we can't predict what will happen next. Whether the decision leads to success or failure, happiness or struggle, it is part of the greater journey of self-discovery. It is through making decisions, taking risks, and stepping into the unknown that we truly begin to learn who we are, what we're capable of, and what we truly value. One of the most important aspects of making decisions is recognizing that our choices don't just affect us, they affect others. The decisions we make ripple out into the lives of our family, friends, and communities, sometimes in ways we can't immediately see. As we embrace the opportunity to make life-changing decisions, it's important to recognize the impact our choices will have on those around us. Our decisions are not made in isolation. They are part of a greater network of relationships, responsibilities, and connections. Every time we choose, we affect the world in some way, and that influence can extend far beyond what we can imagine. Embracing the opportunity to make decisions is also about taking ownership of our lives. So often, we allow circumstances, other people, or even our fears to dictate the direction we take. We let ourselves be swept along by the currents of life, reacting to situations instead of acting with purpose. But the opportunity to make a life-changing decision comes when we recognize that we are the ones responsible for steering our own course. We are the ones who hold the power to direct our future. This doesn't mean that everything is within our control. There will always be elements of life that are beyond our influence, but it does mean that we have the power to decide how we respond, how we act, and how we move forward. The opportunity to make a life-changing decision is also an invitation to grow. Many of the most transformative decisions we make come when we step outside our comfort zones. When we embrace a new challenge, take on a new responsibility, or push ourselves to achieve something we've never done before, we are forced to stretch ourselves, to expand our horizons, and to discover new strengths we never knew we had. In these moments, we are often confronted with our own limitations, but we also have the opportunity to transcend them. It is through making the difficult, sometimes painful decisions that we grow into the people we are meant to be. Growth rarely comes without discomfort, and it is often in the moments of decision that we are called to stretch beyond what is easy, what is comfortable, and what is familiar. In many ways, embracing the opportunity to make a life-changing decision is about stepping into the unknown. It's about being willing to take risks and venture into uncharted territory, knowing that the journey may be filled with both beauty and hardship. We cannot predict the future, and we can't always know how things will turn out. But we do know that by embracing the opportunity to choose, we are giving ourselves the chance to create a future that aligns with our deepest values, dreams, and desires. The road ahead may be uncertain, but it is our willingness to move forward that will determine where it leads. This is not to say that every decision is equally significant or that every choice will lead to dramatic transformation. Many of the decisions we make on a daily basis may seem small or insignificant in the grand scheme of things. However, when we think about the greatest decisions we make, we realize that these moments are often the culmination of smaller choices we've made over time. The decision to build a life of integrity, to pursue our passions, or to cultivate meaningful relationships doesn't happen in one single moment. It happens over time through the cumulative impact of many choices. The decision to act in one moment can open the door to a future full of possibility and opportunity. To embrace the opportunity to make life-changing decisions also means to embrace the reality of imperfection. We will not always make the right choice, and there will be times when we fail, make mistakes, or face disappointment. But it is through those failures and mistakes that we learn and grow. Failure is not the end, it is simply a part of the process of moving forward. It is through our mistakes that we gain wisdom, resilience, and insight. Embracing the opportunity to make life-changing decisions means accepting that mistakes are inevitable, but that they do not define us. What defines us is how we respond to those mistakes, how we pick ourselves up and keep moving forward with the lessons we've learned along the way. The ability to make life-changing decisions is ultimately tied to our sense of purpose. When we embrace the opportunity to act, to choose, and to move forward, we are often acting in alignment with a larger vision of who we want to become and what we want our lives to mean. The decisions that change our lives are often the ones that align with our deepest values and our highest aspirations. They are the choices that move us closer to the person we are becoming, the person we were always meant to be. It is when we make decisions that are aligned with our purpose, that resonate with our soul's deepest longings, that we begin to feel a sense of fulfillment and peace. There are moments in life when we are presented with an opportunity that could change everything. In those moments, it can be easy to hesitate, to doubt, to second-guess ourselves. But the truth is, the opportunity to make a life-changing decision is something that comes to each of us, often when we least expect it. And in those moments, we must rise to the challenge. We must make the decision to act, to choose, to embrace the possibilities before us, and to step into the future with faith and confidence. This is not a call to be reckless or impulsive, but rather a call to take ownership of our lives, to recognize that we are the ones who are responsible for the course we take. When we embrace the opportunity to make a life-changing decision, we take control of our destiny. We stop letting fear or uncertainty dictate our choices, and we step forward in faith, trusting that each decision we make will bring us closer to the life we were meant to live. Each decision is a step, and with every step we create the path that leads us to our future. Embracing the opportunity to make a life-changing decision means understanding that we are capable, that we are powerful, and that we are capable of creating the life we dream of.